Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the NFL podcast, Laces Out. We've got guests, we've got everything that you need to know about the upcoming Super Bowl. Yes, that's right, the Super Bowl. The last game, and it's the biggest game. We've got everything. We've got predictions, we've got weird predictions, weird things that you can bet on. We've got the food covered, the snacks covered, the beverages covered. We've got it all covered. So yeah. If you're checking us out on YouTube, do us a big favour and subscribe if you haven't already. It's a big help. And if you're an audio listener, subscribe on either iTunes or SoundCloud. So here we go. This is CookieCast, Laces Out. Well, there, we're off. So, this is the point where I will crack the hilarious joke about how there are, for the YouTube watchers, there are the same four faces from a different podcast on the screen right now, so it's absolutely that podcast. So, yeah, you know, it's another getting over podcast. But it isn't. It's not. And the eagle-eyed people will see that by going, well, hang on a minute. There's an NFL T-shirt right there. There's an NFL jersey right there. There's a CFL jersey. And Mr. Cook's wearing a hoodie. So it can only mean that either everybody lost their mind simultaneously or it's actually the Laces Out podcast. Number one NFL American football based podcast in the surrounding area. For you audio listeners, I'm here, which, you know, I'd like to see the day I'm not.
Would that just make it cast?
Ominous.
What? 90s indie band Cast?
I'm out on that one.
Special guest.
We've got the host with the most of the Getting Over podcast, Mr. Stuart Woodmansey. We've got the glamorous host of the Riverside Roundup, Mr. Paul Williams, and Matsy. Which at this point in time, I'm like,
general tag along kind of can't make it. I feel like we have to invite him just to keep him kind of, you know, from being such a grouch.
Keep him sweet.
We let him out every now and again. Hasn't got much going.
Not let anybody out for a year nearly. Just trying to get out.
He's not got much going on. We'll invite him along.
So, it's going to be a bit of a different one this week because, as covered on last week, there's no games to review because there've been no games. Unless, did anybody tune into the virtual Madden Pro Bowl, which I can only imagine was
They decided to play it on console or whatever this time around because they can't all get together.
Yep.
But then the irony was that they made it free to play on Xbox last weekend. So I was like, oh, cool, I've not bought the new one. I'll get on, download that. Went on it. Absolutely wouldn't let me download it. So, yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, like you say, it was free to play for the weekend. But in my experience, when they do this game's free to play for the weekend, the games are always like 50 gig games, and it takes you a day to download it. It's like, that's awesome. You know what you're doing there, don't you? Yeah, we'll let you play this game for free. You know, it's massive, and will take you forever to actually get it. So yeah, I think the general consensus of the Pro Bowl is it's not.
They knocked down the stadium in Hawaii. I heard the stadium that they normally play the Pro Bowl in has been knocked down. So who knows where it's going to be next year, and who cares?
Well, they stopped doing it in Hawaii every year, didn't they? They've started moving it around, I think.
Are they?
So, because it was, for ages, it was always played in Hawaii, and I think that was probably at the selling point of it, wasn't it? It was like a case of, oh yeah, come to the Pro Bowl, you basically get to just piss about on the islands for a week.
Oh, they've got to sweeten the deal. I wonder where NFL players are going to enjoy going for a weekend to play half-ass football and party. Where have they just built a really nice stadium? Vegas, maybe? Anybody? Possibly?
I won't be surprised if they try and bring it over here at some point. Just say, well, we can't give you the Super Bowl because that'd be mental. But we'll give you the Pro Bowl. There's a nice little reward for you, and everyone's just like, nah, you're all right.
I'm good, thanks.
You get Jacksonville every year. Here's another kick in the teeth with the Pro Bowl.
Probably less chance of snow here than there is in Green Bay as well, from the fact that they spent the last few weeks shoveling it out, haven't they? So.
Indeed. There has been what is becoming a widely discussed and most talked about development in the last week in the NFL. The people up at the top of the Rams apparently lost their mind and decided, I've got an amazing idea. Because I tried to tell the stats mistress that she was wrong. That always goes well, as I'm sure you can imagine. I tried to tell her that she was wrong. I was like, no. They get the picks. No. So the thing that's happened in the last week is that the Rams have traded Jared Goff to the Detroit Lions for Matthew Stafford and 2 first-round picks. Did I see a thing that said
the Rams got Stafford, and Detroit got Jared Goff and 2 first-round draft picks. So yeah, in total, I mean, the Rams have traded if you're taking the fact that they traded up to get Jared Goff in the first place, they've traded 4 first-round picks and Jared Goff to get Matthew Stafford, plus is it another 6 picks in the second and third rounds as well. I mean,
yeah, they don't get a first round draft pick until 2024 now.
They haven't had a first round draft pick in 10 years or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, have they had a first round pick since they took Goff?
They haven't taken their own first round draft pick in something like 10 years. I think it's kind of.
Exactly. I think it must have been that the office were just like, lads, we've got a situation here. We've got a first round draft pick that we desperately don't want. Who could think of the best place to get it to?
I think some of the stuff that I'd heard and read is the fact that what they're hoping is that they're Super Bowl or conference championship contenders for the next 3-4 years. So then that pick turns into being the 30th pick or the 29th pick or something like that. And the difference between the 29th pick in the first round and the second round pick is negligible, but the money is massively different. So that I think that's the logic, and it's it'd be interesting because I don't know where the GM of the Rams is from. He sounds like a Belichick kind of tree person, because the only other person who gives less of a shit about first round picks is old Billy Boy in New England, because he gets rid of them for fun.
Do you think it'll be a case of if there's a decent quarterback on the carousel, that he might be tempted to part ways with it for the Pats for this season, or this coming season?
Oh yeah, they're one they need, because I can't imagine Cam is going to be back. And
well, they've had the cheap season out, haven't they? So you'd imagine that if he re-signs, he'd want to re-sign for a lot more money.
He wasn't good enough to warrant a decent contract.
No. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. You know, people starting to talk about how Stafford could take the Rams to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I remember a good few games back, the commentators saying that the Rams really did need to do something with Goff, and talking about how they were stuck with him until 2022. But as I said, I think in our group, I'd said, this is a guy who's taken the Rams to the Super Bowl. You know, it's not like he's sitting on his ass and doing nothing. But then there were people talking. Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Saying that his style and Goff's style didn't go together well, and he wanted to bring his own guys in and all of this. And it's like, who knows at the end of the day?
The weird thing for me is that Stafford is just an upgrade on Goff. He's not like he's not a Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson, which I think is what a lot of people are hinting towards, as that's what McVay wants. He wants a running quarterback, or a quarterback that's good. You know, is a threat, which I've never really seen that from Matthew Stafford. Now maybe just Detroit were never that good, and I think that's the one kind of thing where you kind of take pause with them trading for Stafford, is you think he'd always look good. He always picks up those garbage time kind of touchdowns, and if you got him in fantasy, you're like, wicked, because he'll pick up like a couple of touchdowns at the end of the game, pad his stats, and he looks really good. Is he that good? Is he actually that good that the teams that he was on were not that good, and now he's in a team with decent receivers, a decent tight end, a decent scheme that's going to block for him. Because the amount of injuries that he's had is unbelievable as well. You think, is he going to be good, or is he just? I can't think how long he's got left on his contract. Maybe a year, maybe two, so they can get out of his contract quicker than they can get out of Goff's contract, which is something like $28 million for the next 4 years or something like that, which is a lot of money for not a great quarterback.
That's like some next level sort of chess game kind of escapism, though. And it's like, right, if we move that here to do this, to do that, to do, and by the time that they've finished, if it is just purely to get rid of somebody cheaply, it's a hell of a way of doing it.
Isn't that exactly what the Browns did a couple of seasons ago when they took on Osweiler's contract? Because they took on Osweiler's contract because for some reason it made financial sense for them to take his contract on and then just immediately cut him. Then I don't know the ins and outs of it properly, but it was something like that. For their salary cap, it made sense for them to take him because it was better for their salary cap. So
the contracts are weird, aren't they? Because if you give someone guaranteed money, that means the team is on the hook for that money. So say, like obviously, kind of the extreme example is Kirk Cousins. His contract is fully guaranteed, so it doesn't matter what Minnesota do with that contract. They're paying that contract. And, it's an exact reaction, Paul. What everyone should have to, why on earth are you giving Kirk Cousins all that money? But, so sometimes a team can take the contract on, but they talk about dead money. So I think they were talking about, obviously, Aaron Rodgers reacted wonderfully well to losing in the NFC conference game. And then, all right, they're going to trade Rodgers. Oh, yeah, but they've got a $34 million cap hit next year at Green Bay. So Green Bay aren't going to get rid of him because they're still got to pay Aaron Rodgers to go and be awesome somewhere else in the NFL. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? So it's kind of this weird kind of thing of how much is guaranteed and how much of it is, bonuses and just basically playing that year kind of thing. So it's funny.
So that's probably been the biggest news that I've seen happening in the league in the last week. Obviously, the biggest thing that's coming up this week is the old Super Bowl. I spoke to the stats mistress, see if she had anything stat-wise for us, and she was very very dismissive and was like, I gave you your stats last week, now jog on, my friend. I was like, I mean, have you got anything? You know? It's like, pretty sure you had your stats last week about Brady's done this and Mahomes has done that, so I just took tail and wandered off. So unfortunately, there are no stats.
Is it time for us to create our own stats, Andrew?
If you like, yeah. This is the 22nd episode of Series 3 of Lasers Out. Does that count as a stat?
For the first time ever.
First time ever in a third series, we've done a pre-Super Bowl episode. That is almost definitely not true. That's a Trump stat if ever there was one.
That's a true NFL stat. It's like, yeah, it's definitely first time ever that something that's more than likely going to happen has kind of happened, and maybe it's the first time it's the first time ever Matt's wore that hat and BC Lions t-shirt combo kind of thing. All right, okay then.
It is.
But then they take it to that next level when they then go, it's the first time, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, the first time, and then they go, since. It's not the first time then, is it?
No.
My favourite is in Super Bowl era. Like, okay. What about outside the Super Bowl era?
This is me and Paul have definitely spoken about this before, and Stu. It's the old football thing of, first time it's happened in the Premier League. The Premier League's only been going 25 fucking years. You know, and you're just like, yeah.
No, Matthew, everyone knows that football history only started in August of 1992.
Sorry, 30 years then.
No.
But it's just that it's
football's been around for.
And at least the Super Bowl's 55 years. It's like a proper kind of thing. Most people, a lot of people probably can't remember the first Super Bowl. But it's infuriating. Did you see NFL UK put the graphic up for the Super Bowl? Went for an elder quarterback. Not Tom Brady though. Might have put little old Drew Brees in there. As I said to somebody today, there's at least once a week where I think NFL UK on their various kind of Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, I'm like, are we sure it's not a fake account? Or they send you an email and it looks really kind of shonky, and you're like, has this been sent to me by a Nigerian prince?
He's got several millions to send you. He just needs your bank details and your PIN number.
He's got several million PJs in his bank.
So we've got a lot of business to cover here. There's a lot. Anybody who has ever been on Sky Bet around the time of the Super Bowl will know that the betting, the things that you can predict at Super Bowl o'clock is like, it takes you longer to get from the top of the list to the bottom than it takes for them to play the Super Bowl. That's how many different things you can bet on, or in our case, predict. Although I will absolutely be having a lovely flutter on this. But there are also some things some people might say are even more important than that, because I feel that now is the time to look at really covering off what sort of meals are we getting stuck into in preparation for the Super Bowl. So, how are we thinking of doing this, Mr. Williams? I'll leave you in charge of this bit.
So, do we want to leave the food as the end of the podcast?
As the dessert for the podcast. Let's get the business out of the way.
And we'll get the actual business.
Yeah, we'll do the business side of it, and then we'll finish off with a cigar and a nice whiskey.
A delicious whiskey. Aperitif, if you will. Digestif, maybe.
Let's do it. Let's get the business out of the way. Let's get the boring stuff covered up. Mr. Williams, what is it that you would like us to predict?
Right then. So, usual sort of regulation things we'll go for. So, first of all, Andrew, who will win the Super Bowl?
The Kansas City Chiefs, absolutely going to be the Buccaneers, but hey.
Who will score the first touchdown in the Super Bowl?
Travis Kelce.
What will be the score of the game?
31-28.
And finally, who will be the MVP of the game?
It's going to be a big part in it. Old Mahomey, as Cole would say.
Interesting.
Now, reading between the lines there, gentlemen, what you heard and what I meant were two different things, because the Bucs are absolutely winning the Super Bowl. I still think Kelce would probably score first, but if TB12 doesn't walk away with MVP, I'd be very surprised, and the score's going to be like 54-3 or something. It's just going to be touchdown, interception, and rinse and repeat.
You've just successfully Borised your podcast, because you've actually said one thing and then said the exact opposite is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, which is a shame, really, because the insight I have is nothing compared to you guys. So I was basing everything on mine about the wonderful, like, outside world of symmetry, and thinking, well, how much would Vince McMahon's erection punch a hole in the table if they then have Super Bowl in the same, the Super Bowl winners in the same stadium that happens to have a former employee of his playing at tight end, and everything just ties together quite nicely. So I'm kind of with you in one respect, in the sense of I absolutely don't want them to win, but there's just too many external sort of, the chakra is aligning, if you like, for the Bucs to win.
Ooh.
You can start off by putting me down for the Bucs, Paul.
Matt?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Okay. Because last time I was on, I was all logical about it, and I was like, Mahomes is hurt, and this, that, and the other. The Bills are going to win. No. And this time I'm thinking, is it one of his O linemen's out injured, or is it the center's out? He's like blown his Achilles, and Mahomes still might be a bit hobbled and that, and all that kind of thing. And I was actually, no, I was going to go with the Chiefs. He's the man.
Certainly is. Right then, who have you both got for the first touchdown?
Based on my same theory, I'm saying Gronk.
That's Rob 1-1 one catch in the postseason Gronkowski, is it, or something like that?
If it makes it count on Sunday, you won't be laughing then, will you, Williams? So.
No, I'll be crying because no one wants to see that shit.
Oh, again, not saying I want it to happen. Just
Matthew?
I'm going to Pat Mahomes.
Good take, Matthew!
Pardon?
Good take! I've also gone for Patrick Mahomes to score the first touchdown.
22-1. Shh.
Well, didn't he score the first touchdown last year?
Mm-hmm. The two bets that I've picked out are Pat Mahomes first touchdown 22-1, Tom Brady 33-1 first touchdown. And you know there's going to be like a sneaky little quarterback sneak. You're like, God damn it!
Well, I'm pretty sure if we were to go back in the archives to week 2, there was something about a guy who put on a very large bet for Tom Brady's first touchdown as a book to be a rushing touchdown, and obviously it was. So, and it was something like ridiculous, like 5,000 to 1 or something absolutely mental, and he hit on it. So,
whoever set that as the first touchdown, like even him throwing a touchdown to someone else, or
yeah, so the first touchdown involvement to him as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
All right, fair enough. I was like, I mean, if whoever's given, I was like, whoever gave 5,000 to 1 for that was ridiculous, because like the only way Tom Brady was going to ever score a touchdown was a rushing touchdown. You're never going to. Can you imagine Gronk slinging it to Brady, who was in the end? So
that was Gronk with the trick play, just arrowing a 75-yard dart to Tom Brady. That would be amazing.
The only way Brady could get a 70-yard dart down the field is if he managed to get a wheelchair out off the side, wheeling himself down the side.
Right, lads. We need some scores. What the final score will be. Either of you can go first.
I can't tell if it's going to be like a really tight game or if they'll just think, yeah, fuck it, and just go for it. Like balls to the wall, kind of like. I suppose I could sit somewhere in the middle. And, no. Maybe 24-21.
Oh, nice.
So you and Andy have both got it as a field goal game currently. Matthew?
35-32.
Oh, thank God for that. I was getting panicked there that you were just reading my thoughts because I've got Chiefs to win the game. Mahomes' first touchdown and 35-21.
Ooh, alright.
So I think it'll be a bit more of a blowout than everyone else is saying so far. So you three all think it'll be a field goal game?
I think it'll be tight.
Yeah, I can't see it being that. That's a lot. How many points is that? That's like 14 points. You've got it's a blowout, isn't it? Really, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, I just think that's what the Chiefs that's what they could do to you. Like if that's what happened in the last game, I think they were up by at least 2 scores at one point. And if Tyreek Hill gets in behind, game over. If he gets loose in the second, there's no one that's going to catch him. So I reckon
the age-old thing as well, where if they're down by 7 and like pushing for it, there's always the chance of a pick and score, isn't there? So it's
if you think about in the NFC title game, Brady threw 3 interceptions.
I was talking about this today. I was like, the Chiefs need to be focusing almost solely on getting those interceptions. He has had a high interception rate in the last few games. Was it he had 3 all season, and then 3 in 2 games, or was it three in the last game or something? So he's had 6 all season up till now, but half of those had come in 1 game. So realistically, the Chiefs need to just be focusing on getting those interceptions. That's how the ball's going to get back to them, because it seems to be an area that he seems to be vulnerable at the moment.
Certainly is. Right, lads. 2 more picks, so we should an MVP from both yourself, Matt, and yourself, Stu.
What was that one?
Just the MVP.
Oh, Pat Mahomes.
Stu?
You're really going to make me say this out loud, Paul. You already know.
Say it. You want to say it, go on, say it.
So what you say is, King Corbin's going to remember he used to play in the NFL, and he's going to re-sign with the Bucks and be the MVP.
I think, unfortunately, you might have just have reminded some people that actually was a thing, whereas most people would try to forget his NFL career, I would suggest, including possibly himself.
Well, he played for the Chiefs, didn't he? I think he was. I think the pictures of him. He might have just been on the practice squad.
I was going to say I can't imagine he'd have been down as a first teamer, because otherwise that would have been like front and centre every time, wouldn't it?
I'd imagine so.
But as he has been christened, put Mr. Bridleton down for the.
Oh, what? Say his
So
name.
we've got two picks for Mahomes to the MVP back to back. Has anyone ever actually won the MVP back to back?
First time ever, Paul. First time ever.
I want to say, because I don't think Brady didn't when they won the Super Bowl back to back.
Yeah. There was someone else. I can't remember who won it. Because did he win it one of the years? Because the 5 that he's.
It was
He's got.
So he's got 6. He's got 6 out of the 10.
But has he only got 4? Has he only got like 4 or 3 MVPs? Because Edelman won it last time.
Yeah, he did.
And whoever, I think, I'm not sure if it's the running back or maybe I can't. Yeah, you'd have to. It's one of the 2 years where they won it back to back. Somebody else. I mean, fucking an out there, isn't it? Somebody else got it. One of the other 53 players on the match day squad got it.
So Andy's gone for Mahomes as MVP. Matt's gone for Mahomes MVP. Stu's gone for Tom Brady. I've done what I always do and gone anywhere else apart from the quarterback. So I've gone for Travis Kelce, the MVP.
That's a solid choice. I think if Mahomes isn't going to win it, then it's going to be Kelce, because he'll have 160 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. You can imagine it would be him or Tyreek Hill with a big receiving game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that us all predicted up?
It is, unless, Andrew, you would like to do a novelty bet of what you think the correct colour of the Gatorade shower is going to be for the winning coach.
So this is for any of the season 3 veterans of the Laces Out podcast will know. This is my personal favourite random as hell bet you can put on at the Super Bowl, and that is, what is the colour of the Gatorade that is dumped on the winning coach? And I always bet on the same colour every year, and there was a year where it actually came in, because I always go with, it's going to be purple, and like 9 times out of 10 it's like orange or like, lime colour or whatever. But one year, one of the many years that I put on purple, I was like, yay, I won 50p. So yeah, if you want to put me down for purple, please, Paul.
Purple. Gents, have you got any thoughts?
I'll go blue.
Good choice.
Blue.
You know, that natural fruit juice colour of blue.
Yeah, obviously.
No artificial colours or preservatives. Blue.
Matt?
I'm going to go red.
Red? Ooh. I'm going to keep it incredibly boring, and I'm going to go clear.
Boo, that was my other choice, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, but then you might not win, because how will you prove it's Gatorade and not just water?
Because it's whatever's in the vat. So, according to Sky Bet, winning coach Gatorade shower colour. If there is no coach Gatorade shower, all selections in this market will be void. So, current favourite at 6-5. No one has orange.
I thought you might have gone with that, Paul.
Second favourite at 10-3. We have pink/red. Matthew.
Pink/red. I mean, fair enough then. It's a scope. So.
The next 5-1 is yellow/green. Clear 13-2. Purple Andy gets you a 7-1 shot, and Stu, you are in there with the outsider of blue at 8-1. So there you go, Andy there showing us his clear Gatorade there.
Love a clear Gatorade.
Back with his very much not clear Gatorade.
Is adult
Orange
Gatorade.
Gatorade. It's very much an orange Gatorade.
So at this point in time, we're up against a bit of a time crunch. So the time it takes to restart the video will give everybody enough time to marinate. Some might say some amazing food choice picks. For you audio listeners, it'll be a mere snippet of time, and for you video people, again, literally seconds. But as they say in the scary movies, we'll be right back. Oh, just like that, we are back, baby. I think it clocks in at less than a second audio wise. So, you know, lucky people. I have to press all those numbers. I have to type out all those numbers, then type more numbers, send it to you guys. You guys got to log in. Got to get it all going. Audio and video people and we're back. So, you know, every cloud and all that. Mr. Williams, we got all the business out of the way. So now it's time for the cocaine and hookers, or what? You did get the cocaine and order the hookers, yes?
Yeah, sort of. In absolutely no way whatsoever.
All right.
She'd fall asleep anyway.
Oh, it'll never go away. Yeah, so, as a little... I was going to say treat, but it's not really a treat as such. It's just a little bit of fun as it's the last game of the season. So obviously, in America, the Super Bowl is treated as if it's a national holiday of sorts. So we thought we'd discuss the foods that we're going to enjoy whilst enjoying the Super Bowl. So I've done a little bit of digging around, and apparently, well, I won't give you the figure. I'll have you guess the figure. Roughly, how many chicken wings do they estimate that will be eaten in America during the Super Bowl?
That's in America, not including the ones that you're clearly going to have as well.
I'm not in America, am I? Come on, Stuart, get your head in the game.
40 million.
Andy has set a benchmark of 40 million.
I think higher than that. I think it'll be closer. I think it'll be closer to 5.
Oof. I am going to go even higher than that. I'm going to go 180 million.
Okay, so of the three, Matt had the highest number, yeah? And he was
Not
still
even close.
not even close. So
I reined that in. I reined it in. I was going to go 300 million.
yeah, still not even close. The National Chicken Council released its annual chicken wing report.
Sorry, what? They have a what?
The National Chicken Council, the NCC, released its annual chicken wing report, projecting Americans to consume a record-breaking 1.4 billion chicken wings during Super Bowl weekend.
You said during the Super Bowl. The weekend is a very different. That's like all of the 2 days. Not that I would have guessed anymore.
In that case, take your figure, Stuart, times it by 3 to be generous, and it won't even get anywhere close. Yeah, 1.4 billion is the estimated wing usage. That is sick when you think that you only get 2 wings from 1 chicken.
So that's
700 million chickens after that.
700 million chickens have been.
Plain.
That's
How insane is that?
Seeing out veganuarian style in the States.
So yeah, so it begs the question, lads, what are you going to be tucking into on Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, I have managed to fully get Sarah on board with this as well. I was just like, because you guys must have this thing where, as you get a bit older and you realise that a very important part of being in a long-term relationship is that period of time of every single evening of your entire existence going, what do you want for tea? Don't know. What do you want for tea? Don't know. What do you want for tea? And away we go. But because we've got the special occasion of the weekend, I was like, gonna need some American style stuff this weekend. Like, what do you fancy? And we're both big fans of I was going to say American food, but just food in general, in fairness. But a particular favourite in the Woodmansey household is the corn dog.
Yes.
And Sarah makes corn dogs as well. She's good at, and she also then tries to fancy them up by not just doing the battered sausage, but she will also then put bit of cheese in, bit of jalapenos if we can squeeze them in there. So freshly made corn dogs will be on the agenda at this end, and then probably heavily into the sweet stuff, of which I do have a variety in front of me that I am absolutely not going to open right now. But yeah, we'll stick with the savoury stuff first. Corn dogs, like I say, for me, for definite. Probably a bit of chilli as well, just because.
Very nice. If that's not a segue into Andy's answer, I don't know what is.
I feel that it was set beautifully to lead into. I will be making a chili on Saturday, so that it's got that day, that full 24 hours to go from being a chili to the chili. I do feel, unfortunately, the virus has killed the Super Bowl menu, because each year I would normally be catering for multiple people, but this year we've had to do we don't need that much food, and then the realisation that it's just me and the stats mistress. It's like we don't need 16 burgers and 8 chili dogs each and all this. So main course is going to be nachos with chili, but I hear a rumour that there's a possibility of onion rings on the side. She threw it out there, and I didn't bat it back. I was like, yeah, go on then, let's do it.
Now,
pick it up and put it down.
What was that, Matt?
I'm saying, pick it up what you're putting down.
I did.
Well, the question has to be asked, though. Obviously, for the meat eaters amongst us, obviously the basis of a chili would be either cubed beef or mince. Now, obviously, Senor Cook doesn't dance that way. So, what is the main basis of your chili? Is it a bean or is it a meat substitute?
So recently, the chilies have been done in the slow cooker, and the one thing that does not go well in a slow cooker is corn mince. It can't handle that action. It just can't deal with it. So basically, it's more of a bean sort of situation. This time round, there's a part of me that wants to throw caution to the wind and go in with the corn, but I don't want to ruin it. You can always add, but you can never take away. Let's put it that way. So a part of me is a little bit like, should I do like the mince separate, like just before serving, and then?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of going down
like
that
like a little half and half kind of thing. So you keep the kind of the pure kind of thing, and then you risk maybe a third, just as like, all right, we'll chuck in the wild card corn just at the last minute and see how it goes, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You don't want to ruin.
No.
You don't want to ruin all of it by going rogue.
No.
So, go on then, Matthew. What will you be partaking of at the weekend?
Hot dogs, I think, will be like hot dogs, some like nice mustard, that kind of thing. And then I mean, Stu's got it planned out already. I might have to broach the subject with the head chef, as it were, and get her to do she does a very good tortilla chip mountain. So I might have to get the old kind of guac, the guac, the salsa, the sour cream, a bit of jalapeno in there as well. See if we can kind of veer away. We've gone traditional English because we're going to have bangers and mash, but all the talk of the Super Bowl, I think hot dogs with the tortilla chip mountain is the way to go.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to try and I'm going to go a bit adventurous, I think, this year, because obviously normally I'd either be in town.
Going to get an Indian takeaway is the
No. It has to be authentically American. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to I'll throw it out there to the boss and see what she says, but I think she'll be on board with this. 3 words: Philly cheese steak.
Nice.
So go get some nice. The only problem with Philly cheesesteak over here is you can never get the beef thin enough. I always find. So I'll have to go and get some of those quick cook steaks and just absolutely batter the cheese out of them to try and get them as thin as I can.
I know this might sound like an even more radical suggestion, but would your local butchers be open? Could you get them to put it through like the ham slicer machine thing?
Maybe, potentially.
I feel like this is probably the furthest point we could have veered from Andy's corn chili, but it's Philly cheese. You cannot go wrong with Philly cheesesteak.
And just going back to what Matt said as well, the sort of like getting the mustard and stuff like that. I know we can't get it over here anymore, but if I was able to get hold of a bottle, I'd love to be all over the JR's main event mustard, because that is the balls.
The closest thing to that I've found is Marx's Posh Dog mustard. That is very, very good.
I actually sent JR's Barbecue an email about 6 months ago just saying,
"What the fuck?
Are you getting that mustard back over here again?" And he was like, "Hi, Paul. No."
I love any interaction with any American company, because I want the 30 for 30. So ESPN did like a load of documentaries around the 30th anniversary, and they do 2 box sets. They look absolutely awesome. I want them. So I emailed ESPN going, any chance? I absolutely love these. And they just went, we have no plans of releasing those in the UK. I'm like, right then, yeah. The postage is about $70, so nobody's planning on getting them over in the UK then either, so.
I mean,
definitely.
You could always get, if someone's going on holiday there anytime soon, get them to. Oh no! Wait a minute.
Yeah. No. So.
Then obviously there'll be a portion of chicken wings just thrown in for but because it's just rude not to, isn't it?
This was you that was eating chicken wings at like midnight or whatever it was on Sunday.
Way past midnight. I think it was like 3 a.m.
So
I just needed that second wind.
we've all tucked into our lovely, savoury meals. But as we all know, we're all well versed in these things, and you got to leave that little pocket just there. Just obviously you can't see what I'm pointing to. It's like that much, just there, just off to the side, for some lovely sweet treats. So, who's got the best American style sweet treat to finish this meal off? I know this much. There is absolutely a Butterfinger in a bag downstairs that's got my name written all over it.
The idea of a pumpkin pie had been floated in this house. We talked about it. Not sure if it's a little bit too much Thanksgiving rather than Super Bowl, but you never know. But rather than just going all in on, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if it's still up for discussion. So covering a few bases, we got a few treats to. As Sarah was on main course duty, this is going to sound terrible. I am on helmet duty, as in. So,
Once you took it out of the box, did you give it a good polishing?
Maybe.
He was discussing putting stickers on it before.
Yeah, well, you can't have it all out on display. It's the size of that thing. But I not only decided to go for sweet stuff for the snack helmet, but I had a bit of like, you've got your savoury main, but you might want a little bit of in betweens as well. So we went for some good old American pretzels, but particularly jalapeno ones as well. Add a little bit to that. Also have the honey mustard ones, and then all into the sweet stuff. Cannot have American sweets without having M&Ms. To me, peanut M&Ms.
Yep.
So we have a bag. Also, off the back of that, I was like, chocolate. Oh, and then we've got pretzels. Chocolate pretzels. So not only have we got milk chocolate ones, but I have got some peanut butter ones, because that makes it even more. So that is up there. And then just to finish off the pile of calories, we've gone with the Reese's snack mix, just for.
So at this point in time, Stu has basically listed everything that is in the shopping bag downstairs. So I was like, if we're talking sweet stuff, M&Ms. So we have 4 different types of M&Ms currently, including the salted caramel crunch ones, the really hard ones. We've got milk chocolate pretzels, but also salted caramel pretzels. And absolutely, if you're not doing a Reese's of some description, what are you doing with your life?
I did look at the Hershey's and then thought, I remember that tastes like shit, so I didn't bother.
I was going to say.
Yeah, Hershey's chocolate's real hit and miss.
They look like the shit emoji, and they also taste what I assume the shit emoji would taste like. God awful.
But then they disguise them as something nice by calling them Hershey's Kisses. That is not the kiss you're after at all.
Americans are kissing funny things if they think that's a kiss.
I'm definitely not going to put any kisses in my snack helmet, so I shall leave that there. That's the end of that. That's the snack helmet discussion.
As good as these all were, you've both picked up the pretzels and not got the best flavour. The white fudge pretzel flips are the fucking balls.
I had some of those. I had those as a treat at Christmas. They are the absolute shit. But I was not in charge of purchasing.
I see.
Said.
Are they the same ones as? Are they the same ones as what? Like same company as what Stu got his?
Yeah.
Thing on. I'm going back to Tesco again then.
Oh no, they're not. Those. So the ones you're on about, the savoury ones, they're Schneider's.
I've got those.
Yeah, he's covered for them. Yeah.
I've visited, like I said, I've visited multiple Lidl to find them. They weren't in Lidl. I found them in Tesco today.
Lidl.
The sweet ones, I think they're just called flips.
Yeah.
With Z.
And I can get them from Tesco. Other supermarkets are available.
Yes, other supermarkets may be available. Yes.
We're quite lucky that. Well, I'm saying this. We're quite lucky. Our Tesco's like, yeah, look at us. We've got a world food aisle. We've even got an American section. I'm like, right. I'm gonna go and get some sweet stuff for next weekend. Let's go and have a look. It'll be absolutely chock full. I'm absolutely sure of it. They had those two different kinds of pretzel flips, and everything else was a bit like, oh.
It's quite disconcerting with the person. It's quite disconcerting when you get there and there's a person that's ready to take a piece of your kidney / liver just to buy said goods as you go there, and you're like, right.
There's a guy there who's like,
how much are these again?
There's a guy there who's like, I'll take lungs now. Gills come next week.
It's when you're looking at it though, and like, because you obviously if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to quite enjoy the food. I love like absolute shit cereals, like the ones that are like the marketed as a breakfast product, but what it actually means is they're just gonna kill you.
It's crack and it's crack in a box.
Yeah.
Basically, Stu's about to say, get yourself down and get some marshmallow mateys in your face.
No, they had in the cereals. They had actual Lucky Charms, which were about £1.50 for 3 pieces. But a box of cereals was £7, like £7 for like a small box of cereals. I was like, So,
did you not go out and get the Oreo O's?
They're just not Wheatos, but white ones as well.
Oreos are doing cereal now. I can't imagine that's a good thing.
I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's probably a good thing.
Right,
I'm surprised that nobody mentioned the American staple of the Twinkie as well, because
we usually get a Twinkie, but we've been struggling to find actual American sections. We've been to a couple of places, and I think it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which means you just struggle to find more and more stuff. Weirdly,
you're going to the not the one Tesco for you, but for the American section, you want to be going to the Tesco that's near me, because they've actually got the designated American section, but the one where you go, I don't think has it.
Yeah, funnily enough, I've had that exact conversation today in Tesco's.
Nice.
Like the woman's like, I think you need the other Tesco. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, cool, thanks for that. I don't want to feel like I've come like, completely out of my way to go to the wrong one. So cheers for that.
I always find that giving you the right answer when you've clearly currently got the wrong answer is always very helpful. Thanks very much.
So dare I say, we've done savoury, we've done sweet. Oh no, sorry, Matt hasn't had his chance to say his sweet. Sorry, I do apologise.
See, I'm one of these people that like. So if we're looking at it, then kind of in our household, it'll be a double kind of thing. So Helen's very much a Reese's Pieces, like the peanut butter cups, all that kind of thing. Where I like them, and I'll have one or two, but I'm a big. I like sweets, so I'm going to be the. Is it the Twizzlers?
Yeah,
red.
Leanne got some Twizzlers.
Yeah, and those are. I mean, they're absolutely diabolical kind of things, and you feel rough as out on the other end of them. But man, I could eat like several packs of those. But yeah, just sweets. Like sweets. I'll probably, and yeah, to be honest, if we kind of that kind of thing, probably I know it's not going to be in the kind of expensive American kind of yes please, those ones, yes, red vines. I've been obviously on my travels to try and find the pretzels. I've come across those several times, and I've not bought them yet. But I think there'll be red vines sticking out of my helmet on Sunday. But also, we might dip into the old Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Just,
Nice.
It's like either a starter or just a mix in with everything kind of thing. Because
Go to Ben and Jerry's.
See, Helen will just double down on the peanut butter cups kind of thing, so she'll get whichever one that one's in. Cookie dough's always the one for me. The cookie dough, yeah.
If you've not had it yet, that Netflix and chilled one is incredible. I'm sure it's got pretzel. It's almost got like pretzel cookie dough bits in it.
Yes,
but it's actually got full chunks of chocolate brownie in it as well, and like caramel sauce to it. It is amazing.
The one that I used to try and get, but it was always quite hard to get hold of it. But I think it was half baked.
Mm-hmm.
But is that the one that had cookie dough and chocolate brownie pieces in it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Fish food's always a classic.
I was just about to say, you can always get fish food and break your teeth on the fish, because the fish are like frozen chunks of chocolate. Like,
magnificent.
I remember once finishing a close shift at Mega Bowl at about 3:30 in the morning. Drove straight to Tesco, bought a tub of fish food, went home, still wide awake, and ate the whole thing in bed.
That's perfectly reasonable. They're not big tubs of ice cream.
Obviously, it's been a particularly difficult shift as well. So
I don't know. Probably some toss piece had probably been sick in the bar or something. I don't know.
It all sounds a bit very Bridget Jones for you, Paul, I will say.
Well, I had to straighten my hair when I got back, didn't I? So.
Take his massive pants off.
Right. So, savoury, done. Sweet, done. We've almost covered snacks even. So, that's 3 of the 4 done. The only thing left to discuss, it's got to be beverages, lads. Got to be beverages.
Water.
Nothing but soft drinks. Nothing but clear drinks for this guy.
He's on the Gatorade.
he's on the clear Gatorade. So today I picked up, the Brooklyn non-alcoholic beers. So they've been doing a thing recently, and I've seen it like all over the social medias and the tinterwebs. You can get a box of 4 bottles for £4. It's like, I'll absolutely do it. And I was passing the aisle, I was like, yeah. So I picked up one of those boxes. I've still got probably just enough supply for a big shout out to the Tiny Rebel Brewery for their amazing non-alcoholic selection. But I don't know if you gentlemen are aware, but I've come off the energy drinks. It was partially enforced, partially agreed with New Year's resolution, which 3 days into February I can confirm has been going fantastically. that's absolutely going out the window on Sunday, because I'm telling you, there's gonna come a point where I'll be like, I just have a little one just to make sure I get through. So the fridge is already stocked. Outside of that, I'm with Matt. There'll be a few waters on the go. I will say this to counteract the lack of any alcohol or anything like that. I will be endeavouring to hit something Colombian or Dominican or a little bit of the old cigar. I think I'm gonna because you can guarantee it'll be absolutely shitting it down, because every time I try and smoke a cigar, it's pouring down with rain. But if it isn't, my intention is to start the evening well and get in on the cigar action to counteract my not doing anything else. So yeah, who's got the best drink for the occasion?
I think if I've got anything American beer-wise in stock, but no, don't think so.
I'm going to try and keep it as authentic as possible. So
Budweiser.
My plan between
don't you
not that traditional.
Say it.
My plan.
Some shite fucking Radler.
My plan between now and Sunday.
No swearing.
Is to track down as many different American craft beers as I can. So
and then that's the plan. And then when he sends us all the picture on the weekend of his pack of Bud Lights again, then
so that'll be the plan. And then I'll just basically cave and get 12 Michelobes or something like that.
Which company is it? There's a beer company that they're not doing a Super Bowl advert this year, and they're donating the money they would have spent to some. It might be the virus or something. There was definitely part of me wants to say I think it was Budweiser.
No, fair play. Their beer's fucking shite, but fair play to them.
Speaking of shite, we haven't discussed the halftime show.
Is it the weekend?
The weekend.
Yeah, apparently there was too many vowels were in use at the time he decided to pick his name. So he's made himself the weekend. But yeah, apparently that's who it is this time. And I had to actually Google who it was. So I'm with the kids.
For the first time since 1983. Budweiser won't appear in a Super Bowl commercial this year. Parent company, that name, said it will donate the money it would spend on the ad towards the virus vaccination awareness efforts.
Anheuser-Busch is the name that you're looking for.
That's who they.
Anheuser-Busch.
We'll cross over to future. Is it Beavertown they own?
Could be.
So, has anybody got anything pressing that they want to get out there? I think the only other thing that I would mention is I've been toying with, I've been umming and ahhing for what is now weeks. Bert Kreischer, Tom Segoya, and Warren Sapp, NFL Hall of Famer Warren Sapp, are doing a special Two Bears One Cave called Two Bears One Sapp, where they're doing their podcast live whilst the Super Bowl is on. And I've been umming and ahhing whether to get it. And I spoke to Mr. Williams about it, and I think we came down on the side of it will be too distracting. However, I'm going to buy it, enjoy it at half-time rather than whatever the god-awful half-time show will be, and then I'm going to go back and watch it the next day. So it's, as I said to the stats mistress, I was like, it's kind of like keeping the Super Bowl alive for another day. So, does anybody else have anything utterly pressing to get out before we sign off on this one? A bumper edition of the Laces Out podcast, because let's face it, this is actually the penultimate episode of the Laces Out podcast. As I say at this time pretty much every year, it's almost time to put my toys back in the box.
You ready for this?
Put toys in the attic. I'd like to thank you gentlemen, mostly Stu and Matt, but always Paul, for joining me, taking these lovely people through the somewhat murky but always turbulent waters that are between us and the colonies. So yeah, enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy the great food, the amazing drinks, and if, like me, you're into that sort of thing, some fantastic cigars, I'm sure. Join us next time for the wrap up, for the review, the last review of the season. And until then, it's a big thank you to you, gentlemen, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye. So there we go. What do you think to that? Another one done. And for the NFL, the second to last one done. By the next time you hear about NFL, the Super Bowl will have played and the season will be over for another year. Poof, can't believe it. Seems like only 5 minutes ago we were talking about week 1. YouTube watchers, big help to the channel if you're a YouTube subscriber. Audio listeners, if you subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts, that's a big help as well. Everybody jump over to cookiecast.com. Check us out over there. You've got all sorts of links you can use. Social media, email. You can just stare at the screen for a bit if you like. So there we go. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye. And good football, good NFL, and happy Super Bowl. Bye.